Okay. Hey, AP Micro students. This is Mr. Heffron. I'm going to do my best interpretation, or not interpretation, best imitation of Mr. Clifford today. Definitely not going to be as engaging, but we'll see. We'll see how we do. So today we're going to be looking at the 2018 FRQ number 1. It was a long FRQ. It was worth 9 points. The first part of it, they were asking you to draw a side-by-side graph. It said that the pencil market was in perfect competition and it was showing long-run equilibrium, all right, which means zero economic profit. So to start off, you want to just draw a simple supply and demand, and you want to identify the price of the market with a PM and the quantity of the market at QM. Make sure that you label your curves, and also don't forget to label your axes as well, with price and quantity there. All right, so that part of the graph is done. Now, the second side-by-side graph here, so the second part of this is going to be the firm. So this is a firm, an individual firm within that pencil market. And what you want to do is show that you understand that this individual firm is a price taker, so they're getting the price from the market. So bring that market price across and make that your PF, your price for the firm. Then that becomes your marginal revenue and demand curve for the firm. Right, now, in order to get your profit maximizing quantity, so you can label QF down here on the quantity axis, you're going to have to add a marginal cost curve and an ATC curve as well, and they do tell us where the ATC curve should be located because it's zero, or long-run equilibrium, zero economic profit. We want to make sure that ATC curve is hitting and equals marginal cost and marginal revenue. They're all sorted together in the same place. Right? And then you bring down your quantity, QF, there's your quantity for the firm. So if you have the market with the price and quantity, you bring the price over, you have your price for the firm, your marginal revenue and demand, your marginal costs coming through, your ATC at zero economic profit, and your profit maximizing quantity identified. That's going to give you 4 points for that first part of the FRQ. All right. The second part, it's asking about the relationship between the price of the market and the price of the firm. And this is, they're asking you to explain. So for B, you're going to say that they're the same. And they're the same because it's perfect competition and the firm is a price taker. So I think if you have those components in there, worded obviously a little better than I did here, you're going to earn the point there for B. All right, now C, they're saying that rent goes up, and they tell you that rent is a fixed cost. Then they ask, what's going to happen to the firm's profit maximizing quantity in the short run, and explain. All right, so C, I there. In the short run, nothing's going to happen to the firm's profit maximizing quantity, right? Because remember, if fixed cost changes, nothing happens to your marginal cost. So your marginal revenue, your marginal cost is still going to intersect in the same place, all right? Marginal cost is really the change in variable cost. Rent is not a variable cost. It's going to have no impact. So you can write nothing will happen there. And you can write because, fixed cost doesn't impact marginal cost. Something along those lines will get you a point there for C1. C2 is asking you to add something on the graph. It's saying show the impact of the rent increase and completely shade the area representing the firm's profit or loss in the short run. So we need to add something to the firm side of the graph here for C2, right? Now, even though the marginal cost doesn't change, you know what does change is the total cost, right? Because remember, total cost is variable cost plus fixed cost. So if fixed cost is changing, then your total cost is going to change as well. It's going to shift upward. So for this point, you would have to add another ATC curve up above the original one. Then they want you to shade in what happens. Is this a profit or a loss? Remember, you're still working off the same profit maximizing quantity, but now you have a different ATC So you bring that all the way up to the ATC curve, then over, that's going to show you the cost to the firm. And since the cost is above the price, it's going to be a loss. Right, so you shade and just label that in as a loss. That's going to give you another point over there on the graph for C2. All right, take a breath. We'll go to the last section. How are we doing so far? Hopefully you're getting these. We've done a lot of side-by-side graphs. So that's, a lot of that's pretty basic stuff so far. The last part, D. As a result of that rent increase, what will happen to each of the following in the long run? So let me just give you some space over here to write the answer to D. The number of firms in the market. What's going to happen to the number of firms in the market? Well, with that rent increase, in the short run, firms are taking a loss. So that means firms are going to leave the market. They're going to exit. So firms exit because of loss, right? And what does that do to the number of firms? So the number of firms decreases, basically. That's what you would need to get that D1 point right there. Then the second part, D2, is asking you what happens to market equilibrium relative to the quantity of the market. So here we go back to this market graph and think about, all right, if firms exit, what happens to the market, right? If firms exit, you don't have to draw this on your graph. They're asking you to just explain it, but I'm going to show it to you on the graph. If firms exit, the supply decreases, right? So your supply goes down. What happens to your price? Your price is going up, your quantity is going down. So the question they're asking about is the quantity. So you're going to say the quantity decreases. All right, because supply decreases when firms leave the market. And it also asks about price as well. So the price, because the firms are leaving the market, supply is decreasing, the price is going to increase. Right, so you would also put that in there. The price increases because supply decreases. Right, so you get that, gives you another point. So there you have it, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points total. Check yours, see how you did. Subscribe, like at the bottom. Peace.